Greetings of peace. My name is Ram Hotep. I'm broadcasting on behalf of 13signsastrology.com. I'm doing this video on these recent photos that everybody's getting all hyped up about in relationship to Mars. Now, NASA has released some photos because they've had some type of computer or robot or satellite or something land on Mars. And NASA released some photos. They show like a canyon. I mean, there's a bunch of photos that are still coming out or whatever. And they're all over the internet. And it's been all over the news and things like that. And a lot of people are familiar with the term full disclosure. And full disclosure is basically when the government or the powers that be or whoever decides to let the world know about the truth about the alien thing. And I tend to think that they're releasing these photos, they're releasing this information about Mars strategically for a reason, because they're preparing for full disclosure. They're preparing for full disclosure. When is full disclosure going to happen? I can't say that. I can't say when it's going to happen, but I know for certain that it is going to come to a point where they're going to have to reveal the ET problem and the fourth dimensional problem that this planet is having to the world. Now, the reason why they're revealing this information on Mars is really key. A lot of people don't know that because, you know, people are ignorant and they don't research. They just wait for the news to put out information. And a lot of people don't realize that they've been on Mars, beloveds. They've been on Mars, guys. Like, they've been researching on Mars, getting samples on Mars, building things on Mars, doing all kind of stuff on Mars for a while. I know for a fact there's a book called Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. I've talked about this book in a lot of my videos. Very interesting book. I love this book. And he talks about Behold the Pale Horse, how he talks about the face on Mars. And I talked about this in my video when I did a video about the extraterrestrials that live on Mars. But he talks about the face on Mars. And he talks about how they have pyramids on Mars, in a place called Sedona on Mars or something like that. And they have all these pyramids and they have a face on Mars. And I mean, these pyramids are actually lined up with the pyramids in ancient Egypt and at the Giza complex. These pyramids are actually lined up. So it's interesting or whatever. And they've been knowing about beings on Mars for a very long time. They've made pacts with these beings on Mars for a very long time. Humanity in general has known about the beings on Mars for a very long time. How do you think Mars got its name? Moors. You see, because Mars goes back to Moors. And a lot of people don't realize this. Mars is not the original name of the planet, but the name Mars came from the Moors, because this is what the Moors called it. The Moors were very knowledgeable on what was up there on Mars. The Egyptians were very knowledgeable of what was up there on Mars. They knew about the face, the Adama face, which is basically a face that looks kind of like a Homo erectus type of being on Mars. There's a face like that on Mars right now. And the ancients knew about this. They've been knew about this. Actually, the ancients built these structures. A whole lot of these structures. The ancient ETs that came here and seeded this planet, a whole lot of them, they've been going back and forth to Mars, and they built a lot of that stuff up there on Mars. In actuality, Mars was the first planet occupied by ETs even before the Earth. The Satanists or the Luciferians occupied Mars before they came here. And there's beings, and even still to this day, that live on Mars right now to this day. They have the cat head beings. A lot of your ancient Egyptian deities are right there on Mars, living in the center of the earth. Like a whole lot of your deities that you see with the cat heads and the falcon heads and the bird heads and, you know, and all of that, you'll see these type of beings on Mars. This is where they originated at. And the reason why is because that's where most of the experiments took place in the making of Homo sapiens from Homo erectus. This is where the experiment took place, on Mars. And I always point that out because that's important. And they're releasing these photos for a reason, because they want to shift civilization to Mars. I'm going to prove to you in this video why and how. They want to shift civilization to Mars. That's their goal. You can even hear this in a song that Beyonce did. She says, we're going to take it to the moon take it to the stars. And she says that we're going to take this all the way to Mars, basically. That's pretty much what she's saying. We're going to take this thing all the way to Mars. And people think it's just a song and it rhymes. We're going to take it to the moon, take it to the stars. We're going to take this thing to Mars. And people just think, oh, it's just a nice little nursery rhyme. No. They're putting out the information again, telling you that we're going into the fourth dimension here on this planet. And the materialists and those beings that want to still control and be on the whole reptilian, Luciferian type of agenda, they're going to have to go to Mars. And this is something that we always talked about in the occult. And we knew that the day would come when Earth would not be inhabitable anymore because of what we done to it. Mother Earth is going to release us from this planet, and we will not be able to work out our karma here on this planet. So therefore, there will have to be new evolutionary planets that have to be made for those people that are stuck in the third dimensional type of reality. And one of those evolutionary planets is going to be Mars. That's what's happening now. The ETs are already been moving there, been shifting civilization there. This has been going on for thousands of years. This is nothing new, and it's just basically continuing. And what's happening now is that they actually have put together a reality show. The Dutch, it's a Dutch reality show. The Dutch have put together this reality show, and whoever wins this reality show gets a one-way ticket to Mars. You hear me, folks? Whoever wins this reality show gets a one-way ticket to Mars. This is important. The reason why this is important is because they're basically telling you that people are already going there. If they're doing a reality show, and they're saying whoever wins this reality show gets a one-way ticket to Mars, don't you think they're already going up there? Come on, people, wake up. Wake up. It's just a matter of full disclosure. It's just a matter of when they're going to let the masses know. And really, they're already letting the masses know. So who knows? They may not ever come on TV and say ETs exist and let people know frankly, because they don't warn people that way. They may only warn people through symbology, which is what they have already prepared to do. So the heavy beings, again, as I was saying, will go to Mars. Those beings that do not raise their energy and ascend will go to Mars. Those beings that ascend will go to Venus. Venus, some say. Venus will become the planet that those of us that raise our energy go to. This is what a lot of occultists teach. This is what a lot of occultists teach. A lot of people will go to Venus, you know, those people that go higher and raise their energy. Some beings will stay on Earth. Some beings that, you know, want to stay on the fourth dimension and want to stay here on this Earth, they will stay on Earth. But this is according to the occult. You will have options. Venus, Earth, or Mars. Take your choice. You stay here on Earth, you're going into the fourth dimension. You go to Venus, you may even have to raise your energy to the fourth and fifth dimensions to get to Venus. You want to keep your energy low in that third dimensional vibration and keep eating the way you're eating and letting people control you and complaining and being a victim and doing all of these things that people do that are vibrating from the sacral chakra and that are vibrating below the heart. You want to keep doing that? You'll be going to Mars. And they're already setting it up for you. The proof and the information is out there. You can research it. The only reason why they're putting out this information about Mars now is to warn you again, because they've already started sending people there. They've already started building stuff on the moon. This stuff has been going on, people. People just need to wake up and really see the reality of what's going on and begin to research things outside of just the news and the media and what your friends tell you. Research things. Begin to look up things. But if you want to look up that article pertaining to the reality show that I was talking about, it is attached to this video. I put that article, the article about the reality show that will send someone to Mars. And this is for real. They're really going to do this reality show. It's a Dutch reality show. And they're going to send someone to Mars, whoever wins. So it's interesting, people. It's interesting, people. I really do believe we're in a time of full disclosure right here. Like, this is the time where you either accept it, ETs exist, the Earth is shifting, we are forced to either raise our energy and ascend, or to keep our energy the same and move to other planets, or die. These are our options, and this is what's going on right now. I mean, you can look around you. Everything is changing. People are flipping out. People are bugging. People need to be healed. People really need to be healed. So I thank you for watching this video. For more enlightening information, visit my website at 13signsastrology.com.